Is Nintendo now officially done with general Nintendo Directs for the Switch? That is the general question that a lot of people are trying to figure out. Today we got the Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase, and it showcased tons of new games coming to the Switch, but from third parties only. And Nintendo really only uses this if they have absolutely nothing to show or something's going on around the world. This was actually started during 2022's COVID year, where Nintendo didn't have any first-party reveals to show as they were going through the pandemic, but they still had to show off third-party companies' games as well, so they created the Nintendo Partner Direct Mini, but now they've actually changed it to the Nintendo Partner Direct with no Mini. So that's what we got this morning, which kind of shows us that Nintendo has nothing to show from their first party games. The only other time Nintendo did this was the summer of 2022, in June to be specific, because there was no E3. E3 plans were canceled, leaving all the companies to kind of fend for themselves and have their own presentations. And Nintendo just decided to completely skip the summer with absolutely no first party reveals and just had a Partner Direct showcase. But today is the first day that they have ever had a Partner Direct with absolutely no reason behind it. Now, that's the whole point of me bringing this up, is that there's always been a reason why Nintendo would shift to the Partner Direct instead of a general. There was always a reason, whether it was something going on around the world or whether Nintendo just had to change plans last second because of an event canceling like E3. So why in the world do they have it this time? Well, clearly this year is a different year for Nintendo. This isn't going to be the usual Nintendo Direct in the spring, big E3 show in the summer, and Nintendo Direct ending the year in September. No, it seems as if they are gearing up for something big to change things. And one thing that was going to change is the fact that we are getting a new console very soon. Yes, whether you believe it or not, the Switch 2 is very close, and Nintendo knows it as well, and it could very well be the primary reason Nintendo decided to hold off on any first-party announcements, simply due to the fact that there are none to announce right now, because Nintendo is gearing up for some huge ones to be announced, but for a future console. I know a lot of people are still going to fight this in the comments and say it has nothing to do with Switch 2, but Nintendo's not just going to open up the year with a partner showcase just because they want to, just because they feel like that's the best way. They know it's going to hit them hard this year if they don't have lots of new first-party software to get people excited for, and the fact that there's not a huge AAA game that we're waiting for, like the next Zelda or Mario or even Metroid or anything along those lines, really does speak volumes that Nintendo just has nothing to talk about right now. And I definitely don't think it's because they don't have any games. I actually do not think that's the case at all. I think it's just because they have tons of really huge games and they just don't want to announce those type of games in a Nintendo Direct. It's going to be in a Switch 2 presentation where everybody's getting their eyes on this new console and seeing all the goodness coming to the console, whether it be at the end of this year or the beginning of next year, or whatever the rumors are saying, because it changes every week. But yeah, it's coming. There's going to be something big coming. Nintendo is not going to go through this year with just a Partner Direct in mind. The question I want to ask is, does this mean Nintendo Directs are done, at least for the Nintendo Switch currently? Does that mean that the last Nintendo Direct we got back in September of 2023 was the last general Direct we're going to get for the Nintendo Switch? Maybe. Well, here's what we got to unpack. Nintendo just had a partner showcase, and apparently in about a week, we're going to be getting a Pokemon Presents as well. The new rumors are suggesting that next month indeed was going to be the reveal of the new Switch console, but internal delays pushed the console back from this holiday to the beginning of next year. If that's the case, there could be a very good chance that we don't get any type of presentation next month and it's just Princess Peach Showtime. Now rumors are suggesting that it's going to be an indie world instead, something a lot smaller, give us Princess Peach Showtime, and that's pretty much going to be it for the month of March. Which I know that's 3 months into the new year with no new announcements, but apparently there's saying that there's going to be some type of Nintendo Direct in the month of April until we get to a Switch 2 reveal in the month of June. If this is the case, it doesn't make much sense to me whatsoever. If Nintendo's going to have a huge Switch 2 blowout in June, why in the world would they have a Nintendo Direct in April? It just doesn't make any sense, especially if Nintendo has more games to announce. Why would they kind of just cancel those games out? Imagine them announcing a whole bunch of new Switch games for the summer and even the end of 2024, and then 2 months later saying, hey, here's Switch 2, and here's all these amazing first-party games coming literally just the beginning of next year. New Mario Kart, new 3D Mario, Metroid Prime 4, new Donkey Kong. Why would they do that? I feel like it would just kind of, overshadow all those late games coming to the Switch unless they have a mini direct before June. And that is where I'm going with this. I think if there's any shot of Nintendo having any type of general Nintendo Direct, it will be a mini. Just small enough to talk about some things that they haven't yet, like Luigi's Mansion 2 and Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door, which, I'm not gonna lie, to wait 2 more months to get information on those games does sound kind of insane. But this is a last minute change for Nintendo. It would be perfect because you could talk about these 2 games a little bit and maybe showcase some extremely small stuff just to tie us over until June. For instance, you could have Wind Waker, Twilight Princess ports finally. This is the Direct where you show Metroid Prime 2/3, maybe some more ports, remakes, or remasters of older games that they're just sitting on still, and just some tiny things just to hold us off. Nothing new, nothing huge, nothing big. If we're going to get anything new at all, maybe another Mario Sports title, maybe even a Mario Party, but at this point I think they're really saving anything new, even Mario Parties, even Mario Sports games, for the next console. So if we do have another Nintendo Direct, I am calling it to be a mini, and yes, I think around April would be good. I personally would prefer it to be even around March, but we're just gonna have to wait and see what Nintendo's doing. Which I can't lie, if the last Nintendo Direct was our final general Direct, I actually am so happy that it ended with Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door as like the big last hype thing people have been asking for so long. That was just so cool, and I think it was just a great ending. Now, I'm not a leaker, I'm not an insider or anything like that, but listening to the fact that there could be a Nintendo Direct in April, the only reason it would be a general Direct is if Nintendo tells us ahead of time, or there's some type of games in there that are coming to the next console as well. And then June is just like focused on that new console and more of those games. But for instance, I could see the only reason they would want to have a general Direct in April is if Nintendo ended the show with a big Switch 2 game. And maybe even told us or didn't tell us, but something has to happen with that. For instance, they show us tons of new games and stuff, ports, remakes, remasters, things look good, maybe some sports games and stuff like that. But then they come in and say, here is our final game that's coming in 2025, and it finally is that open world 3D Mario game. They maybe don't tell us that it's coming to the next console, but they just show us and it looks spectacular, fantastic, and then they kind of dive into that game and a whole bunch of more Switch 2 games during June's showcase. So yeah, I mean, I can dream at this point. There's literally nothing to go off of, so I just have to wishful think. I was going to title this video, you know, a new rumor about a Nintendo Direct, and I don't even feel like talking about who it's from or if the source is reliable or anything like that. So yeah, this video is just purely speculation, and I am just tired of talking about Directs, and I'm tired of talking about Switch 2, so yes, this will probably be one of my last videos before we just start talking about games, because I think that's the thing that most people care about. I mean, I know a lot of people are excited for the new console, but we just want games. You know, we're excited to see the next Mario, the next Mario Kart, the next Donkey Kong, the next Zelda game eventually, even Splatoon and Kirby. That is what makes us Nintendo fans so excited for the future, so that's what I'm going to be focused on. The future of some of these IPs and some of these video games that we could be expecting. It's going to be a long year probably until we get some really good content to cover, but hang in there with me. I'm sure it's going to be a blast very soon. We get Side Order tomorrow and Princess Peach in March. We have stuff coming, so let's just get excited for that for now, but thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe before you head out, and let me know down below what you are most excited to see from Nintendo this year. And like always, I'll see you all on the next one. See ya, guys.